Hey everybody, I'm back again with part 2 of my talk about people development and training. If you missed the first part, I will put the link to that in the comments section. But effectively, I was going on a rant about how I felt that companies around the world were literally throwing away hundreds of thousands of euros, dollars, pounds, whatever currency every year on what I call checkbox training, doing training for the sake of it and thinking that training is satisfying the needs, which is the most important part of the employees, when in fact what it's actually doing is actually creating damage, not just about the learning that's not being absorbed, but also creating what we call a social divide within the organization, social and skill divide. So you will get people who are enthusiastic, accelerating their careers alongside somebody who, for whatever reason, doesn't have that motivation or momentum, will then start to feel inferior, and that's the risk of losing that individual. So it goes a lot deeper psychologically than just sticking training programs on the table. And we talked about that unlearning curve, if you remember, where you had that total absorption while you're in the training, depending on the trainer, of course. But then as soon as that training ends, you have this curve of unlearning. And in most cases, it gets down to about 10% is all you actually get from that training session that is effectively being used by that individual to improve their performance and their career and motivation. Last week, I was driving into the city, and I came alongside a driving instructor with a very nervous-looking student, sort of gripping the wheel. And I was there for a little while because we got to some traffic lights, and I saw this sort of nervous person. She was about 25 years old, sort of staring forward and gripping that wheel like her life depended on it. And next to her was this driving instructor, without falling off his chair, was way back in his seat on his telephone. I kind of got a bit angry. I wanted to put the window down and say, hey, come on, she's paying for that. But it kind of made me think about a lot of not just learning to drive, but maybe going on a training course or getting a certificate or whatever, is what is most important. Is it the piece of paper? Or is it the learning? Is it that career acceleration, which I keep saying? And I was thinking with the driving test, is the sole purpose of that driving instructor and maybe the student to pass their driving test, or is it to learn to drive? Think about that for a moment. Are we sending people out there in a car that's going to go 120, 130 kilometers an hour? They've just got their certificate, but they haven't actually learned how to handle themselves on the highway and do all those things to keep themselves and their families safe. It's the same with golf. Many of you know I'm a keen golfer, and I quite often see somebody paying to have a golf lesson, which is not cheap, I can assure you, and they have the golf lesson, and then I see them on the golf course doing exactly what they did before the lesson. Because they're kind of like, yeah, he told me to do this, but I don't feel comfortable with this, so I'm going to do it this way. That's normally the males in the golf course. The female golfers tend to listen, and you see a lot of lady golfers have the perfect golf swing because they actually listen to the pro and they take the time. They go through a little bit of discomfort to get that swing correct. And really, I see a lot of trainees when I'm doing that, and I see the manager peering through the window and getting frustrated. How long are you going to be? Can you give me a call afterwards? Because there's no connection between the training and the culture and the strategy and the people above them. And that's what we're doing at Lovering and Partners, is really sort of changing that so we can, when people go to training, they don't just go there to survive and to get through that training and get back to their default, like the golf situation, but they want to look forward to the next one. They want to feel valued. They want to feel special. Every one of your team should have a tailored and personal program that enables a longer term target, and not just fixing something which may be the subject of why you organize the training in the first place, if that makes sense. If you want to find out more, please contact me. I'm going to put my email address. I'm going to put my telephone number. You want to send me a WhatsApp or call me, but drop me a line and let's get together and I can explain a little bit more how we can really stop you losing money, and really every single cent that you invest will be measurable and visible for you and your team. That's it. Take care. See you soon.